This video is going to show you how to create hide show buttons in geometry. These are great for when you've constructed something that has underlying constructs. So you needed to use perpendiculars to make a right angle, or you used a circle to construct equilateral. And you don't want them to see the underlying construct till later. Maybe you're just exploring different aspects of a shape, and you need to make sure it's constructed in a way that it maintains those properties, but you don't want them to see the underlying constructions until after they've had some discoveries, and you want to bring back those. So let me show you what I mean by that. We're going to pull up a geometry sticky, and let's do a simple construct of an equilateral triangle. So that requires two circles. So here's one circle, and I'm going to make the second circle have its center at the point on the first circle. So these are two intersecting circles, and I want to construct the two intersection points. So I select my two circles and go to my menu up here on the right where my constructs are, and let's do the intersections. And now let's get the polygon tool and connect the 3 points here. And this is one way to construct an equilateral triangle, because the radii, all the sides of this triangle, are the radii of two congruent circles, right? That had the same radius. So no matter how big or small I make this triangle, it is an equilateral triangle. So if I'm working with students and I want them to explore just the triangle, the circle aspects get in the way. But I needed the circles to ensure that the triangle they're working with is an equilateral triangle. So how do I hide these circles but not necessarily get rid of them? Let's first just show you what happens if you just hide. So to hide anything, it's very easy to hide something in geometry that you don't want to see anymore. If you select it, you'll notice over here on this menu to the right that visible then appears, and you can turn the object on or off, and so it's gone. But what I want to do is create a button off to the side that I can bring back these hidden objects that I may want to have explored in a different time later with students. I want to easily come back and forth between the hide and the show. So what I can do instead is select the object. So what do I want to hide here? I want to hide these two circles and even this intersection point, because that's not part of my triangle. And I'm still going to go over here to the right, but instead of going to visible, where it's just going to just hide it completely and it's going to be a little more complex to bring it back, I'm going to go into what they call group. And group just takes whatever I selected, so I can select one thing or many things, and it's going to group them as a single button. So we're going to hit group, and here's my button. And right now the button's on. That's what the check mark means. I can edit this and define the button to mean something. So we're gonna put here circles. And now when I want to hide them, I simply select this button, and now the circles are gone. They're still there behind the scenes, controlling the fact that this is always an equilateral triangle, but they're not interfering with what my students are doing with the triangle. But I can come back to how did we construct that triangle and bring these circles back so students can explore how the radii of those circles guaranteed that that was congruent. So lots of things you can do. Hide show is very helpful in lots of things that you do with geometry, and you can really hide show anything. I'm just going to do a couple of different objects here to show you what I mean by that. Let's do, I don't know, something else. So I could select, one thing, all its points, and this could be group it, and this now is my quadrilateral. And so I could bring the quadrilateral back when I wanted it. So you could have several things that you've constructed first and just bring them back as you need them. So let's do this. Let's do the same thing here. This is that's the second quadrilateral. I should probably made that a pentagon. Let's select the circle here. And so again, you select what you want. You go over to this side thing, go to group. And notice that it becomes a different color. You can change the colors here just by selecting this, but let's call this our circle. And so you can have several hide show buttons and bring back what you need when you need it. So hiding and show just creates a really nice, almost like a presentation capability of this work in geometry. So you can hide, show underlying constructs. You can hide, show different objects that you want to pull up when you need them or talk about them. So lots of great features that you can do with the hide show buttons.